legal team. Shout out to Tyler Perry. If you know about Tyler Perry, you know that he deserves the ultimate humanitarian award. He's a philanthropist at heart. His plays and everything like that are catered to the. It's more so catered to healing. I think when I look at his plays and movies and things like that, it's more of a healing place that he know that our community, and I'm speaking for the minority community, suffers from within our household and the dysfunction. So shout out to Tyler Perry. Again, that is $100,000 towards Breonna Taylor's boyfriend's legal defense team. VH1 is launching a new docuseries for other individuals. I won't say us, but it's called Growing Up Black. And in this docuseries, it is some unfiltered, raw, in-depth looks at the difference in cultures, the difference between the black culture and other cultures, not white cultures, but other cultures. Will this help the state that our country is in right now?
I got a question. What on a show like that, Growing Up Black, this is a whole another, it's almost a coffee talk, but what would you like to see, just one thing, one or two things, what would you like to see them showing this show? Because a lot of times they be like, well, we're going to give you this, and then it just falls short of the thing that you wanted it to show. What is one of the things you would want them to show?
I would want them to show what it's like when we get profiled, what it's like to be profiled, and the raw images of the person that done the profiling and the response, and then the aftermath, because I think that whole sequence, it kind of get chopped and screwed. And that's one of the things that I don't like. I don't like the fact that they see one side of it, and then they see how you reacted, and then that's it. So if you had a good reaction, it's like, all right, she's a good old boy. But if I had a bad reaction, she's an angry black woman. But then after that, I still have to go home, and then I still have to tell my people what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? And then the trickle down effects. I need you to also see what it does to them for it to happen to a person like me, or happen to a person that is undeserving of that, which is all of us. But I that's what I would like to see. I would like to see a firsthand incident, and I would also like to see, a sit down between a KKK member or an openly racist person having a conversation with a black person, especially the younger generation, not the older generation, because that's kind of too much for TV, and they ain't gonna do nothing but piss us off anyway. But I feel like the younger generation, yes. I would love to see you growing up in a racist household and me being black and not understanding why you hate me so much, and you tell me why you hate me so much, and then I think there's an understanding on both parts that could possibly happen. That would probably change some things.
Johnny said he'd like to see the in-home, like the lifestyle, like the things that we know growing up in a black household, you could say, and why a person is who they are outside of the household. And I think he said he want to see the difference in the home lifestyle. That's a cool one. I think also you hit the nail on the head on one of them, just the profile. The other one that I'm very keen on right now is because images are important, and this has been on purpose throughout history. The images that we have been shown of ourselves or the lack thereof, and one that's going on that's right now. I was talking with the boys as we was watching the game yesterday. I brought it to their attention. If you watch these commercials, and I did a whole podcast, but if you watch commercials, we never get an entire black family, or you don't ever get a black. You rarely get a black couple. It's always a mixed couple. Always. And it's like, that don't look like my family. It's never, ever, ever. You look at and everybody's listening, y'all start paying attention. You be like, look at that. The couple, black man, white woman, white woman, black man, or, they always split it up like it's like forced diversity. Stop it. And so, but I would like to see something like this on the show that shows the effects of those images that they have shown forever and ever, amen, because, they've skipped the line for us. It's like, we went straight from not showing full black to, like, gay couples all the time. So it's like, we didn't even get our moment. How do we get here.
Yeah.
Give us a moment. So I want to see that. I would like to see that. And will they touch it? I don't know. But that's something I would like to see on the show. I don't want to derail what we were talking about, but I want to just hit on that right quick. We'll go ahead.
And I'm glad that you even said that, because I've thought about it before, but then I was like, well, maybe I'm doing too much, or, maybe it's out there and I just don't see it often. But I don't watch television, so I never thought that, like, my opinion even mattered. But the fact that you said it does raise that question.
Every commercial.
And I think, I think other people listening to
every commercial.
And okay, so speaking of, they're trying to force certain narratives. The vaccine came out yesterday, and it was a very historical moment during this pandemic. The vaccine shots were distributed to at least what I think was it like 20 states already, and started being administered, right? Okay, so the narrative that they had online, see, right now we're still at 39% of the black community saying that I don't want the vaccine, it's a no for me. So in order for them to capture the trust of the black community, they decided that they were going to have a woman by the name of Sandra. Her name is Sandra Lindsay in New York. She is a nurse, and her and another nurse, they filmed the injection. They filmed her getting her vaccination on worldwide, and I just felt like the black on black nurse, with this whole thing, like, yeah, of course we see white people all the time, but it was just like, okay, that was a bit much. It was like, okay, so they gonna make us watch a black person give a black person a shot. It's like, okay, we're gonna see that anyway, because that's what's around us. Our clinics are mostly black people within our communities. Some communities anyway, I won't say all, but most communities. So it's not like we don't see that often, but I think they was pushing that narrative. And then right after that, they showed, like you said, the gay community. They trying to get them as well. So what they did was they showed a gay nurse man with 3 boys that he's raising with his husband. He got his vaccine, and he just discussed how, he's proud to get the vaccine so that he could feel a lot more better with going home and not taking the coronavirus home to his family of his three sons. And I just felt like that was a bit much. We are at 300,000+ deaths, and we still don't know what's going on, and you're still rolling out symptoms. You're rolling out the fact that you could get a rash from this vaccine. You're rolling out the fact that you're going to miss a couple of days due to symptoms and after the aftermath of getting the vaccine. So symptoms of what? Like, and then it's so many different symptoms: cold sweats, night sweats, just shortness of breath, and like you're getting all of these symptoms. That's the same symptoms as COVID. It's like, okay, I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Dr. Fauci decided, you know what? I'm gonna let the first batch go through. Even him won't get this first vaccine. He will not be part of the first rollout of the vaccine. Of course, they're saying it's for the essential workers. It's for, I know one thing. The black community is saying no.
Let me have a different perspective. I've seen this post. A couple people talked about the post about the black nurse and black nurse being administered by another black nurse getting administered by another black nurse, and I think Obama's going to take it on TV. A couple people doing it, and this is what they're doing for black people to see, hey, we should go along with this. We, of course, Tuskegee experiment, and people have a hard time history-wise. That's out there. That is out there.
Right.
But I was one that was like, hey, man, let's chill out on the vaccine. We'll wait. But I was just talking to some more people, doing a little bit more research, talking to more some having this conversation with people that maybe have some research, and people that are in the medical field, and talking about how the vaccine has come about. I'm swaying the other way now. I'm swaying the other way where we're so quick to say no to so many things, and this thing is affecting us. Say this thing is the right thing, right? Say it's working out and it's right. But as you said, 30% of our community, I'll take it, right? And now it's affecting our community the worst. And so now we got a whole bunch of other people who are not getting affected anymore. The black disease. When it becomes the black disease, ain't nobody gonna care about it no more. They be like, oh, it's black disease now. Hey, y'all deal with it. Y'all had a chance to get the vaccine and y'all didn't, and now it's y'all problem. And so that is the danger with the groupthink of us saying, hey, I ain't fooling with it because y'all got us once. The big companies, Pfizer, Moderna, that are buying this thing, for it to go completely left would be catastrophic for them as a company. And they have staked their reputations and the company name. They ain't put this joint out like this is the generic. They like, we bought this out. And for this to go bad would be a huge challenge for them. So maybe, just maybe, now I do think they're going to have a problem distributing it, but just maybe we need to dial it back. And I'm going to say we'll use our platform to say, hey, black people, maybe we need to dial back all that fear on this one and apply a little bit more of the logic and do some research on your own, not just hear from me, do some research on your own, how this thing even came about. The corona, yes, we went to lockdown in March, but corona's been around. COVID-19 is new. So the fact that this is here and it seems like it's fast, there are some things that were put in place to allow it to move a little faster. So, I mean, again, do some research on your own, but I want to say that we'll use I'm going to use my platform to say, hey, maybe we need to dial that back a little bit. Do some research on your own. But it might not be such a bad thing. And don't let this become the black disease. There ain't nobody going to fool with it. When it's the black disease, ain't nobody fooling with it. I'm telling you. They be like, it's going to be just like crack. They be like, well, that ain't our problem. That's in y'all neighborhood. Y'all figure it out. That's what's going to happen with the coronavirus. Say this thing is the right thing, and it stop being a problem for them. So that's all I had to say on that. That's all.
As hard as it has hit my family and close to home, I'm still not sold on this vaccine. Again, I've been following it for too long, and I have seen the reports, and I've seen the ups and downs in it until they can figure out the real vaccine. I ain't gonna be a part of the test run. So that's for sure. That's for sure.
This distribution, I think I was watching Cuomo last night, and he was just talking. He was doing them as I always do. I always say the math. Like it's everything sounds great on the surface. And I always say the what guy and the how guy in my group of fellas. I'll be like, you're a what guy. You're not a how guy. I'm a how guy. How is it gonna? What is great now? How does it happen? And he was talking about the numbers and the distribution. He was saying that when the polio vaccine was distributed, it took 3 years to distribute. I think he said 1 million or maybe 1 billion. And we got 2 billion of these. It's actually 4 billion, and then we got to distribute because it's 2 doses. And he was like, "What is the process for distributing this thing?" Who's
right
getting
now,
it?
they're trying to do 50 million by the next quarter. So 50 million people.
It's 328 million people in this country.
Yeah, I know. Only 50 million to get it though. So I
328,000. Is that what it? Yeah. That's 50 million. 328 million. Yeah. So
speaking of million and billions, why I got a chance to discuss this, so I won't get too far off of it. The stimulus check and the relief bill have just rolled back out. It's a $900 billion fund, $900 billion that'll be split into 2. So $748 billion will go towards unemployment and small businesses so that they can be funded. They are in the process of trying to make that happen now. They are, of course, discussing it. They don't have a deadline. We've been waiting for months and months and months and months, but finally we do have something a little bit more solid. I'm going to just
solid
news. Another thing that's solid is Grammy nominated. The youngest Grammy nominated person in history right now goes to Blue Ivy, who is 8 years old, for Brown Skin Girl, and she's going up for best music video. So shout out to her.
All right,
8 years old. Beyonce and Jay-Z have really created a monster. A rich little monster. Okay.
All right. So, hey, man, that's just Swig news. I know you got a ton of news, and we run out of time every single day.
I know.
That's how we'll bring it back tomorrow. Hey, that just piles up for the next day. We'll have some more on Wild Wednesday. It's time to sit around the table, stir the coffee pot, and grab our coffee mugs and have a little coffee talk.
Coffee talk. I gotta let them things go.
Look, you gotta hold your can, but you can't really cough no more. You gotta hold your cough. Anyway, here we go. Today we talked a lot about friends. We talked a lot about friends, communicating with your friends, the word friend, friend for the friend. We did a lot of friends. So it has to be thinking. So many of us think we are great friends. So many of us think I'm a great friend. I'm the best friend to have. I'm great friends. And I was just thinking about, spending time with my friends yesterday. But what makes a great friend? That's the question. What makes a great friend? How do you define it? What makes a great friend? And are there ways you can improve as a friend? That's self-reflection, because that's something that we talk about on this show. Are there ways that you can improve a friend? And lastly, has anyone ever told you that you are not being a good friend? That's effective communication. Talks about all the time. What we're talking about today, effective communication. Has anybody told you, like, you know what? You're not that good a friend. I've told somebody that before. I definitely have told someone before, be like, you think you're a good friend, but you are awful. I'll just let you know. You're not great at this. This friend thing, you're not great at it. I need you to get better. I want you to get better. Do better. Now, hey, man, I think as you you build, I think we all probably falter here and there in that friendship category. But I had this conversation quite a bit with a few people about just how you describe friends. Now, think about the friends you grew up with. How many people would you have been friends with if y'all didn't live in the same neighborhood, didn't live on the same block, weren't connected? Were y'all forced to be friends? Are y'all really friends now? Or you just know them for 30 years? That's a whole nother conversation. But again, I say, what makes a great friend? For me, and I usually throw it to you, but what makes a great friend? I think, man, the other thing that made me think about it, I have a couple friends, it's their birthday. And we've been friends since I was 3 years old. Big bro. And I'm going to call him in a little bit. But we talk about it here all the time. People, it's happy birthday, and you send them a text message, or you don't even write it out. HBD. What is that? Don't HB. I kill you. Don't HBD me. We friends. I think it's a terrible friend that, like, you don't have enough in you to pick up the phone and call on their birthday. You can't call them on their birthday. This is supposed to be your friend. Not somebody that's an associate, not somebody that's in a Facebook group with you. This is your friend, your dog, and you can't call them. Even if you got a group text. You can send a group text, but call them on their birthday. I think that is a great friend move. I think a great friend move is like to help them or to be there for them and not expect anything in return. Which, I guess, a little bit, because you're like, I don't expect anything in return, but I expect you to be a good friend in return. And so I don't know how you rectify that or reconcile that in your mind. But these are things that make you. There's just a couple of things that make you a great friend. Can you call them? Can you hide the body? What they hide the body for you? That's. I think that's beyond. But everybody gotta. Do you have a friend that you know? Like, I know I am, but I can call this one over here and they'll hide the body. That is my dog. That right there will hide the body. It's a person that's not gonna judge you. They're gonna tell you what like it is, but they're not gonna judge you. Be like, hey, you messing up. You still my dog, but you messing up. And I gotta keep it funky with you. I think that goes into the great friend category. Just some of the things. I think I could probably sit down and write a list of the things people, great friends. But those are some of the things that in my opinion make you a great friend. Are there ways you could improve as a friend? I know I gotta improve as a friend. And various ways I think I could improve as a friend, because I get busy. I get caught up. How many of y'all get busy? Apart again, if you're watching on live and if it's up, hey, we're on air. I will stop talking. Keep talking right on it. So if you go first, so you should be able to still hear us on air. But Steph, I'm gonna throw it to you. You. Steph, you're on mute. Steph, you're on mute again. I feel like you're on mute because I can't hear nothing if you're talking.
I think what makes a good friend is I think can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we go.
All right, here I go. So I think what makes a good friend is respect and loyalty. Those two to me go hand in hand. If I respect you, of course, then you can earn my loyalty because I respect you and you respect me. So respect goes a long way because it's earned. Am I choppy? Because you're choppy. I feel like I can hear me pretty good and I'm not cutting up. So I think that, of course, like I said, respect and loyalty, I feel like they go hand in hand with becoming friends or even being with, in the company of other people that are not a part of my actual friend club or within my circle. So those that are in my circle, I would say that we have a mutual respect for each other, and respect meaning you have boundaries, I have boundaries, and neither of them cross. I don't cross your boundaries and you don't cross my boundaries. And then in which that happens, that just kind of lets you know, all right, so we cool and we just need to keep it as being cool. You're not my friend. I don't believe in like giving people multiple chances. I done that when I was younger, and that was me giving them the benefit of the doubt because people told me to give people the benefit of the doubt. I always hear how you're supposed to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I don't personally feel that way as an adult. As an adult, I no longer choose to give the benefit of the doubt. I no longer choose to give adults second chances. Whether it's a man, if a man cheats, he don't deserve a second chance. If a friend is disloyal, they don't deserve a second chance. To me. Now, I could be wrong, and I know a lot of people would say that I'm wrong for that, but I don't see it that way because I don't believe in doing anything that would jeopardize a friendship or jeopardize my relationship. If I was going to do something to jeopardize my relationship, then that means I did not want to be in their relationship. If I was going to do something that would jeopardize my friendship, that means I don't care too much about losing that friend. So respect and loyalty.
I think that's a bit harsh stuff. I feel honesty, you on being Richard. I feel like you being too rigid, and I think why you're being too rigid is because you yourself will need other chances. You yourself will need other chances.
No,
yes, you do.
No, I don't. If I no longer serve a purpose in a person's life and I have crossed boundaries with that person to the point of disrespect and disloyalty, don't be my friend because at this point, I'm not trustworthy to you.
Yeah, I think you probably need to define what those, because there's a short list of those things. Because I can probably agree with you if I knew what those things were. When you said trustworthy, yeah, you said trustworthy and disloyalty, if you talk behind my back and I can't trust that you're not gonna hold me down, I understand. I'm like, yeah, cool. I see you. I see you. I can't hold you in that particular space. I know you are. I can get with that.
All right.
But you did also say effective communication and how people should handle you. So that's why I said that people, you yourself may need another chance. You might do something and you be like, hey, let me pull you to the side. The way you did that, that's a violation. You still my dog, but that's a violation. Don't do that no more. So that's another chance through effective communication. That's another chance, because if you were as rigid as you're talking right now, totally rigid, then effective communication goes out the way. There's no need for it.
No.
Because
I'm gonna tell you
you're
what.
a one strike type person.
I am a one strike type of person. All right, I am talking one strike. But hold on. I'm giving you 2 based on how you treat other people. See, that's the thing. And so with our communication, if we're friends, then we've already communicated about so much, and we've had our ups, we've had our disagreements, or whatever the case may be. Crossing my boundaries, showing that you are disloyal or disrespecting me in any form, I do not grant you a second chance. I don't grant it. I wouldn't say about me. We just talking period. But I don't grant second chances for that. Man, woman, family, I will uncousin you or unsister you or undaughter you in a minute. A New York minute. And the older I'm getting, the more severe
you need some pineapple.
it is.
You need to tenderize that meat. You need some pineapple.
I'm just saying, the older I get, the more that it's starting to be like I have a short fuse for certain things, and disrespect is one. I have a 0 tolerance for disrespect. If I feel disrespected, I will get disrespectful. And in order for me not to get disrespectful, effective communication goes out the window, child. We know how to treat each other at this point. We done been around each other long enough to know that certain things, certain ways, it's certain ways that I will feel cross, and certain ways you will feel cross.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's some specific violations that you're speaking of that we're not going to speak into. I think there's specific violations.
Do something. Do something to make me feel bad.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? I feel like you are the person that's listening to this. People that are listening to this hear like pettiness, and I don't think that's what you're saying. I really think that
no, I'm not petty
for that.
No, I give. No. All right, so if it sounds petty, okay. So yeah, let's take it back. Let's take it back. As adults, there are certain ways that you would carry yourself as in a friendship and in a relationship. And in friendships, I feel like if there are boundaries crossed after so many years, you already know that you're crossing those boundaries and you don't care, because I've forgiven you for so many things along the way that now you feel like, oh, well, I'm going to do my big one and she's going to forgive me for it because we grown and that's what we do. We forgive each other. We talk it out. We have effective communication. As I've gotten older, I understand human psychologicals. And to a human, you automatically know if I do this, then this will happen. If I don't care, I'll do it anyway. So, and that's how I take it. And sometimes it could be like, oh, okay, that person really didn't mean to do that, and I could talk to that person. We won't be where we were, but I could also forgive that person, or I could just forgive you within my own right and walk away without an explanation. I'm not matching your energy. I'm not trying to be nasty with you. I won't talk bad about you. We just no longer should occupy the same space and conversation, like not now, not ever. So, and I'm okay with that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a huge world out here, and I am moving about that world. I don't need so many people in my space anyway. So, and a lot of times when that happens, it always happens from like a childhood friend or something like that.
You hear that? That's defensive.
I don't care about that.
That's the defense mechanism.
Oh yeah, my guard is up. Oh yeah, my guard is up.
You can't.
My guard is up because I've been burned a lot.
You are being totally defensive.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's a big world.
But at least I don't need that many people.
I am this person, and I'm saying that that's not a good thing. I'm trying to tell you that. I'm saying
I ain't saying it's a good thing. I never said it was a good thing. I could possibly use some work here and there, but what I can say is I don't think my mind will ever change with disloyalty. I ain't even gonna front. If I feel like you've been disloyal to me, you ain't never got to worry about me ever again in life
very
with
specific.
anything.
Again, very specific.
That's just my thought process.
You got some comments? You got any comments? Because I know you read it.
I do have some comments.
I gotta ask you a question. Before that, there's a second piece of that question that I didn't hear you answer. Are there ways you can improve?
Yes, there are ways you can improve as a friend. That's when effective
communication. Are there ways
that
you can improve as a friend?
Yes, I would say that's when effective communication comes into play. Effective communication comes into play when you talk about, you know, the things that you need to improve on, or something that somebody has brought to your attention. There has been something brought to my attention as far as like not communicating back through text or phone calls, or saying I'm coming and I don't come over. Um, because I got tied up with life and things like that. Like, some people understand and some people genuinely do not understand it, and that's okay. But effective communication comes into play with that. So I learned that I wasn't being a good friend every time I say I'm coming, and then I have more important things to do than to come over and hang out. And I was looking at it like, okay, I ain't just going over there to hang out right now because I got all this other stuff to do. Okay, I could have just said that. You know what I'm saying? So I learned that, but I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and I had all intentions on coming or going or doing or whatever the case may be. So I learned that when it was effectively communicated to me. As far as me being a good friend, I don't think I got any. I've never had a person that say I was not a good friend. I've always heard that I was a good friend, that I'm a great friend, not even a great friend. I'm better than great. I feel as everybody. I don't think I've ever gotten that before. I'll just leave it at that. I've never gotten that I wasn't a good friend. I've always got that I was a great friend. And I think that anybody that I was friends with, present, current, prior, I think they will always say, you know, they would vouch for that. They would always say that I'm a good friend. So I'll leave that as that. Because I am genuinely a good friend.
Read your comment. I know you got some comments. Read the comment.
So all of them. The comment says, Keita says, all of my friends tell me that I am a good friend. They say I'm a psychiatrist. That's me. And I listen well and give honest advice. Another one said, good question, someone who picks you up when you are down. Because my question was, what makes a great friend, and are you a great friend? And he said, good question. A great friend is someone who picks you up when you are down. That's coming from a male's perspective. I think it would vary male to female as well, because some things that you would do for a man, you don't do for a woman. Even in my personal life, I have men friends that are really, really, really good friends, and then I have women that are really good friends. And I treat them the same, but kind of different. I treat everybody the way I'm supposed to treat them individually. I don't think I just go across the board like, okay, this is what a friend's supposed to do, bam, and then I treat everybody with, you know, the same. No, there's different personalities, different characteristics, and different levels of friendship as well. Some of them I can't tell my business to, not because I fear that they would tell the world, but, you know, they may be a little judgmental at times, and I just don't want to talk about my business to them. Some of them I just want to, you know, really just listen to their advice and listen to them speak life into me. And some of them I speak life into, but as I'm speaking life into them, I'm ministering to myself. So I don't know, it's different levels of friendship. What about you? Yeah, you're kind of frozen. But speaking of friendships and, you know, what makes you a great friend, and is there anything that you could do better to make you a better friend? Ask your friends that. The friends that you currently have now, ask them the same question that we're asking each other and that we're asking you guys online. You know, is there something that you can work on? Ask your friends that and see what they tell you, and you may be surprised at what a friend would tell you. I want to text somebody now and ask, am I a great friend? And what is it about me that I could change as far as being that great of a friend? Jason, are you with us?
They mad people. They mad. Yeah, I'm with you. It's just Wi-Fi is doing what you know what I mean. It is what it is.
Okay.
I think this is a great question for people to ask themselves. I think it's going to be a great conversation starter. People can continue this conversation. This is why we have Coffee Talk. I think this is because this is a good question, man, to ask yourself. Man, you know what? And you might be a great friend to one person or a couple of people, but if somebody in particular, like, you know what? I'm not a good friend to this person. And why is that? Why is that? I guess that's a question. John doesn't leave his Wi-Fi on. I'm rocking with you today. So anyway, man, Steph, you got some goals for us? Give us some goals. Close us out. Let's get out of here. What's your goal talk today?
Goal talk today would be effectively communicating with those that are around you about yourself. If you want to know a little bit more about yourself as a friend, as a person, who better to ask than those that talk to you on a regular basis, those that work with you, those that look up to you and have saw you transform, or they're watching who you're becoming and been a part of your journey. Ask some of those people, am I going in the right direction? Am I, what is my life looking like to you from your perspective? Not that you need the validation from them or anything like that. It's just more so to see if there's anything that you could possibly work on from the outside looking in. And that's something that I don't think I've ever asked anyone about me. I never really cared, honestly. I just kind of do my own thing. But it would be surprising. So I will ask someone that question, and I'll tell you guys what was told to me on tomorrow after I ask that question. So I will be asking that question. Thank you guys for rocking with us today. Thank you guys for rocking with Morning Coffee Swig each and every day. We start at 8 o'clock in the morning now. 8 a.m. is when we start Morning Coffee Swig. So we need y'all to be tuned in. Make sure you check us out on tomorrow. Today, do it big. Enjoy the taste of life. Take a drink, take a sip, take a swig, and we out.